Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order and open the roll call.
Goodell.
Here.
Slater.
Here.
Baumgarten.
Here.
Tater.
Here.
And we need a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we need a motion to approve the minutes of the March 4th, 2013 work session and the March 4th, 2013 regular council meeting.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Under communications, anything from the public in attendance this evening? If not, people service, sounds like we've got a lot of sickness down at the water plant, so we don't have anybody here to inform us what's going on down there right now anyway, so we'll be at the next meeting, so. If not, we'll move on to new business. Well, you've all got a copy in front of you that Aaron laid out. We're gonna discuss an offer on Knights Boulevard from the people that live up in that area anyway. Aaron, maybe you can bring us up to speed.
Sure. This kind of came up as a outcropping from the Eagle Ridge edition. There's a significant amount of utilities that run down the Knights Boulevard right away. And for the longest time, that area has kind of been treated as a backyard for most of the people who live through there. So there was some damage to trees and I think there was an invisible dog fence and a few other things. We had to get playgrounds moved to do the work in that area. The sanitary sewer is pretty deep there, and so the trench, because it was so deep, was also very large. The group of individuals who live, for the adjacent landowners, are interested in purchasing the land with the understanding that they would have a full width utility easement. I explained to them that this doesn't guarantee, it's almost a guarantee that we will be back, causing damage in that area again because the utilities are there. You've got water and sanitary and I think a few other things that run through there. But their concern is the potential for a street to be put in. My comment to them was I can't think of any sound reason to ever put a street there, considering the properties are owned almost entirely by the adjacent landowners, and therefore all of those, there would be no additional lots that would be served if a street was put through. However, their concern is making sure that that street never goes there. So I think they're interested in purchasing the land for peace of mind. At this point, I think the person I've been talking with the most has been Ned Ved. I think he's kind of been the go-to as far as putting this together. I've talked with all the property owners, but him primarily. I think it's a little premature for the council to consider it with the Eagle Ridge project still ongoing. There's still a stormwater permit that's pulled for the construction site that would include this area. And so there's a legal question whether we can even convey it at this point, considering there's still a DNR permit pulled on it. Obviously, a full width easement would have to be put together and then get assigned by both by the parties that would purchase it. And I also think there's one small issue. I think the amount that they've offered is actually less than what other properties have been conveyed for, namely the one north of Highway 3, that vacated street, and that was also a full width utility easement too, so it's a very comparable. So my thought would be that any offer should probably be about the same square foot cost, which I think is about 25 cents per square foot is roughly where we were at on the other one. So that being said, I would say that it would be best to kind of hold off until we get this project buttoned up, and then my recommendation would be to the council would be to move forward with the sale, because I don't really see any need for ever putting a road through there.
So, any thoughts different than that from anybody?
I agree, I think we should wait until the addition's done up there, Eagle Ridge, and see where we are utility-wise, and what needs to be done in there, and where the water's gonna go, and, you know, who knows what's gonna flow where until it's all said and done. I'm not against, not against doing something like that, but it might be premature at this time. I know we have a lot of utilities in there.
Yeah, like I said, it's just,
But we're gonna have easements too,
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
not gonna be a problem.
because, one of the things I think they were just talking about was, a couple of houses are kind of built a little back or close to that street anyway. I think they're just concerned if they did some work on the houses. I know a couple were thinking about some things up there, and they were just nervous that the street could get put in all of a sudden, or the street right there. So that's the only reason, nothing, no other reason, just to say they own it.
And to the everybody who's on this list or is a neighbor to this, to their credit, there was a lot of hassle created for all the folks in that area, and they were very accommodating, very nice about it, even though it was an inconvenience for a long period of time as the sanitary was going through. So I will say it's been one of the easier projects, thanks to the neighbors being very generous with their patience.
We've had projects that didn't go away that
No, and especially Mr. Whistle, we were right next to his house the
Yeah.
whole time, so, I think he was very understanding considering how close we were the whole time we were working on the lift station.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess after the project's completed, then, does anyone have any concerns if we did convey the property at some point? Is there any concerns to not think about that from anybody? Okay.
Not if there's not ever any chance of it being developed back there, if there's no chance that the lots would be sold off or that another,
But we don't own them, and apparently the people who do aren't gonna sell them, so it's,
The only people I think that would have any interest in that street potentially going in would be the landowners next to it, and as you can see from the list from the assessor's office here, everybody who owns those lots is actually the front part that faces Elmhurst.
Owns the back part, yeah.
Owns the back part. And therefore, you're not blocking off, that road never being developed doesn't block off access to lots. And many of those lots, while they might be platted as lots, are not developable just because of that. You'd be dealing with a lot of water if you tried to put a house on some of those. It kind of is the start of a ravine as it goes back through there.
okay.
okay. Well, you're done, and we can look at that and different pricing and stuff then.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll bring that back to you.
All right. Well, next, we need a motion to approve the renewal of a Class C beer permit, Class B wine permit, an outdoor service privilege, and Sunday sales privilege for Hy-Vee Incorporated doing business as Hy-Vee. You remember, Gloria?
Mm-hmm.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Under resolutions, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2013-20. A resolution authorizing the write-off of water, sewer, garbage, landfill, and canopy lighting charges on final utility bills.
This resolution will write off $1,038.09 worth of charges for bankruptcies and foreclosures, and essentially just final bills that we were unable to, process through an assessment or some other method of collection. In general, we collect pretty much everything with $1,000 over $2 million worth of charges over the last year. That's not too bad. So I think, this is one of the scenarios where we just weren't able to get something put together before it went into foreclosure or bankruptcy.
Move to approve?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Goodell.
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Baumgarten.
Aye.
Hader.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2013-21. A resolution authorizing the mayor to sign federal aid agreement number 1-13 SBRU-002 with the Iowa Department of Transportation for a city highway bridge program project award in the amount of not to exceed $1 million, or a maximum of 80% of eligible costs, whichever is less, for the replacement of the Sumner Avenue Bridge.
Simply formalizes the grant with the Iowa Department of Transportation for the Sumner Bridge, outlines the legal requirements for use of the federal funds. With this, I know in the past we've talked about the federal requirements that come with grants. Being it's a bridge and something that's gonna be of appropriate width no matter what, there's not really, the federal requirements really aren't that burdensome on something like this. You know, as far as data spanking provisions or prevailing wage, however you want to whatever terminology you want to use, the amount of people who can actually work on a bridge is fairly limited. You know, those construction companies are fairly limited. It's pretty specialized knowledge, so you're always going to be paying that prevailing wage anyway.
I love that figure, $1 million. We waited for a long time.
Nice resolution.
We need a
Move to
mo-
approve.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Slater.
Aye.
Baumgarten.
Aye.
Hader.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2013-22. A resolution approving pay estimate number 4 from Pedersen Contractors Incorporated, Rhinebeck, Iowa, for the 2012 Humboldt Business Park project in the amount of $14,820.
PCI is still waiting on the completion of is waiting to complete the lift station. While some of the parts have arrived for the lift station and have been installed, there's still a large component, still several components, I should say, of the lift station that have not arrived. They're still on the slow boat from Sweden, I believe is the destination.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Baumgarten.
Aye.
Hader.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Along with that, I don't know if everyone's driven up by the new business park up there, but the building is progressing, it's going up there for the spec building and stuff. It is nice to see that after all the years of the eyesore that was up there, so it's quite an improvement anyway. Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2013-23. A resolution authorizing the submission of applications for Iowa Airport Improvement Program, and certifying eligibility requirements.
This resolution will submit the grant application to the state for the pavement preservation project that was included in the fiscal year 14 budget and in the capital improvement plan that was submitted to the DOT. This project should significantly extend the life of the current runway, and the total project cost is $200,000. The city's share will be $30,000 due to the fact that this is a state program rather than a federal program that carries the 85-15 percentage split for costs.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call vote?
Hader.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Baumgarten.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2013-24. A resolution approving data for inclusion in the annual continuing disclosure report.
This resolution is formally approving the information that Ruan Securities compiled with the city's assistance to submit as follow-up on our bonds. The information is required to be submitted every year to stay in compliance with the agreements the city executed when it issued the bonds. So essentially just keeping the bondholders aware of the city's position as far as significant users for the sewer system and other financial information.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Goodell.
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Baumgarten.
Aye.
Hader.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2013-25. A resolution approving pay estimate number 5 from Chicago Bridge and Iron of Plainfield, Illinois, in the amount of $99,689.58 for the 2012 500,000 gallon elevated storage tank, which is called the water tower project.
The construction of the water tower is nearly complete. They will now start in on the painting. They have to wait, obviously, for the weather to turn to start painting. The tower will be able to be put into operation by July 15th. However, the outside painting will go on past July 15th. But it will be in use, which will be a huge relief. With the water plant renovations going on, it'll definitely be a relief to have more water in the air, and when the generator is on site, to have that as reassurance. With the Pasquale's fire, I did have a little concern. I wanted to make sure that our water levels were staying fine. We got the plant fired up as soon as we could, but there wasn't a whole lot of water usage for that fire, because it was more heat than it was fire, so they didn't have to use a whole lot of water on that one. But it is a concern with main breaks and fires that, with the water plant kind of down to one side, to make sure that we get as much into the air as quickly as possible.
Move to approve. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks very nice up there, though. It went up very well, and
It does look nice,
pretty exciting. I'm sorry, Joel. Joel, we have a motion from Joel. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Slater?
Aye.
Baumgarten?
Aye.
Hader?
Aye.
Goodell?
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2013-26. A resolution approving the use of a residential tax abatement for certain properties as provided for in Chapter 10 of the City Code of Humboldt, Iowa.
This will provide tax abatement to 2 properties that have completed the application and complied with the program. They will receive tax abatement on the first $75,000 of the property's assessed value for 5 years.
Move to approve.
Is this in the new edition, or is
Riverview Heights.
They were
this
both,
Riverview Heights?
I think they were. Yeah, I think they're both the Birdie homes up in Riverview Heights.
Okay. Move to approve?
Yes.
Second.
Both Birdie.
Mhm.
Roll call vote.
Baumgarten?
Aye.
Hader?
Aye.
Goodell?
Aye.
Slater?
Aye.
Brings up the last of the regular scheduled items. Aaron? Anything?
Just to reiterate, I know I've mentioned it a few times, but the Sesquicentennial Centennial Committee is meeting every 2 weeks. There's a lot of events being added. We'd ask anybody who has any interest to reach out to City Hall, give us a call. We'll get you added to the email list, tell you when the meetings are happening. We're constantly looking to add events and add more volunteers for that committee. I think there's a nice lineup of events that will occur from the 4th to the 7th, from July 4th to July 7th. Everything from a cemetery walk that will highlight, some of the prominent folks that have lived in Humboldt, to, a lot of events downtown, surrounding the downtown sounds. So, should be a good time.
The fairgrounds could be quite a deal, too.
Oh yeah, they've got a Barnyard Olympics going on at the fairgrounds for kids to run around in mud and do a lot of different barnyard tasks, so that one will definitely be worth taking a few pictures.
And also manure in.
There's some chicken
Barnyard.
There's chasing some chicken. There's chasing chickens. I think is going to be part of it. So that was always
Grease pig?
amusing.
I'm sure we'll have animal people in for this all the time. Anything else, Aaron?
No, that's it.
Lori, anything?
No.
Joe?
Nothing I can think of, nope.
Joel?
Not in good shape.
John?
No, I don't.
Nope, not a thing. Only thing I'd like to bring up was there was a kind of a mistake in last week's paper, and I did get a couple calls on it, and then I called Aaron to get a clarification. But in the paper was a deal that someone had called into the LEC and said their father was having trouble moving snow, and so that we sent the city payloader down and moved the snow. Well, the story was, actually was true what was printed, but it wasn't the whole story. The story was that father was down there, but then he was having difficulty with health, and the driveway was plugged and they couldn't get the ambulance in, so we did send the payloader down to clean out the driveway to get the ambulance in. So even though the guy was having difficulty due to health reasons, not due to moving the snow and stuff, so. We don't send the payloader down to do private driveways, that's not what was the intention of that, I know. Kent wrote, you know, it was just a mistake, that how it was absolutely true, but as Paul Harvey says, that's the rest of the story. So, that is what happened anyway, so. If you can't get the ambulance in your driveway, we probably will come down to help you, but other than that, you're on your own anyway, so. With that, we need a motion to schedule Monday, April 1st, 2013, at 5:30 PM as the date and time for the next regular meeting of the Humboldt City Council, and adjourn the session at 5:52 PM.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you and good night.